This is Star Wars: The Force Unleashed. We're here on the Nintendo Switch taking a look at this port of the Wii version of the game to the Nintendo Switch, so be sure to like the video, subscribing is great as well. So you're probably wondering what exactly we're getting on the platform here. So keep in mind that this isn't the, 360 PS3 version. This is from the Wii, which was changed quite a bit, gameplay-wise between the different versions. So, yeah, some added benefits that we get here include like a dual mode, so that you are able to essentially like do these local battles if you have two people kind of going at it. So, that's kind of interesting. There's some extra level type things, but it is kind of a different, I guess you would say, game. The biggest thing, though, the motion controls, so that you can, just use the Joy-Cons motion-wise in order to, basically slice or use the Force and stuff like that. So you might like that element of it. I guess it makes it a little bit more interactive. But I mean, if you've played the other versions of the game, this is definitely, it's different. It's certainly visually scaled back. It looks like we're getting 1080p here at 60 FPS, which is actually fairly fluid and does feel nice to play, which is an upgrade, and it does look sharper, I suppose you would say. It's not, it's a very different game, so either you're going to be down for that, or you're going to find it a little bit odd. I would have almost like, I'm used to playing on the Series X, so I'm used to that version of the game, from the 360, from the Xbox One, this is kind of what I'm used to gameplay-wise, is that other version of the game. So this is actually quite different for me. I mean, this whole setup is, to me, quite different. And I thought, you know what, should I jump into a bit? Should I jump into a different level? But I'm like, the opening sequence is so cool, with like Vader coming in and just kind of stomping away on like the Wookiees and the Stormtroopers if you'd like to. You can do all kinds of stuff. But yeah, it's just kind of like weird. I didn't realize it was such a, well, it makes sense at the time, such a different sort of take on the same scenario, which is kind of cool. So you don't play as Vader. Like, we're playing as Vader here, but this is just like an opening segment, that kind of like sets the stage for where we're going. I do like that you just kind of swing and then you like cut things down. But for the most part, you're playing as Vader's secret apprentice. This is an individual named Starkiller. Pretty cool, right? This is when Star Wars had really cool names for characters still. But yeah, you played as Starkiller, and you went on this journey as the secret sort of apprentice, dealing with, going on these missions, kind of going and getting the tasks done that you're given, hunting down certain remnants, I guess, of a forgotten time, right? And this is just that opening segue into kind of showcasing that off. And it's such a cool segment, too, where you're just literally on Kashyyyk as Darth Vader. I mean, right? This kind of gives you the full power of what this character can do, which is totally cool. I've also turned off the music because, copyright and Star Wars audio and all that stuff. Not the best to deal with. But yeah, you kind of get this super powered opening, and then things get a little bit, kind of simpler as you kind of go back to being, like, you start from the beginning, because essentially you're going and you're becoming Starkiller, right? There are collectibles to find, there's a lot in this world that you can go and do, but it is very much a linear experience where you are going from scene area to scene area doing crazy things with the Force. And that was kind of a cool part of this game, was that element of, going about using the Force in a very dark sort of way. I think they were a lot more experimental, some might say, at this period with Star Wars stuff. Just like definitely giving you these dark perspectives. And I thought that was really, really cool. But yeah, this is way different gameplay-wise from what I'm used to. It's very, very much its own sort of thing. where you might find value if you've played the other version of it, coming in here and checking this out. Because the motion controls, they do work pretty well. I mean, I'm a little confused from going between buttons and motion control, but, you know, it's kind of like, it's almost like you just get the motion control almost, because it's supposed to be that button. I guess you gotta kind of switch between them and whatnot. I guess we can look at the settings. So sound, obviously, music down. Screens, just your brightness, your game, language, tutorial tips, all that kind of stuff you could turn off. Camera, so you could do different control options, and then you could do the gyroscope, which I never use. It's off by default in this game, so you actually have to go turn it on. But yeah, it's usually not my type of thing. And then controls here, and then you can change the controls. Motion controls on, off, multiplayer on, you know, stuff like that. So easy going. I guess, you know, you do get some different features here. There's 27 characters to battle with in the local multiplayer, and you get to visit a number of different locations. It's neat. Like, it's definitely like a classic sort of game. I like that they've brought this back and they've made it available for like a new generation of players to kind of enjoy, right? Because it's a cool Star Wars game, and I don't think personally that these Star Wars games should really be forgotten, because some of them are quite gems. I consider this to be a really cool sort of game, just in terms of, you know, what it did, what it provided gameplay-wise. I thought it was a lot of fun. I thought it was really neat. And it was just a very distinct offering. So it's nice that the Switch players can come in and they can enjoy what this has to offer. Especially with, I guess you would say, an improved version of their particular platform's game, right? Not some, like, port from other platforms or anything. This is, like, a Nintendo family's take on the game that's been upgraded. Like, the backdrops and stuff. Honestly, you know, it's not like the tech was mind-blowing at the time, but you do, personally for me, you lose a little bit of wonder on this level when it's limited like it is here on the Switch version. Like, it doesn't have the same large sense of scale, if that makes sense. Like, the visuals, like, they're sharp and they look good for, like, kind of what I expect out of, like, Switch games or Nintendo games, but at the same time it's kind of like, ooh, has it aged the best? That's gonna be up to the individuals that jump in here and give it a whirl and see if it's something they want to, you know, kind of experience. But yeah, just this segment where you get to play as Darth Vader is just so cool, no matter how you go about it, right? And you can do all kinds of, like, I could be like just using the Force against the Wookiees, but it is fun to be here. Like, I'm literally like swinging the Joy-Con and, you know, cutting up the enemies and throwing them around with the Force. I think that aspect is pretty cool, right? Like, that's a really interesting way to do this gameplay style, is to have this way of going about it. Darth Vader. This is even different too. I believe even the clone troopers, from what I recall, are I think they're more stormtroopers in kind of the 360 version, whereas here they're like the 501st troopers, like it's from the direct Clone Wars Battlefront era. Love the Wookiees. But you do get to visit some pretty iconic spots across the galaxy, which is kind of neat. It is like a full story tale that kind of stands on its own, which is nice. Thankfully, Darth Vader's here. It seems like the cutscenes and stuff roll fine. I mean, obviously, we're seeing holes and stuff on things, but...
Yes, sir. We're suffering heavy resistance, sir. So far, we haven't even broken their front line.
Leave that to me.
Oh, Darth Vader's coming. Low-res Darth Vader's here to save the day. Well, obviously, they're teasing a big confrontation with the Jedi coming up. But yeah, it's sort of a neat side entry, right? That's the biggest thing, is it's kind of like, yeah, this is, I feel like this is entirely different. I guess I could be blocking, but it's more fun to kind of just throw things around. I like to feel the power of Darth Vader. You know what I mean? Like, it's really cool being Darth Vader as a character and going about in this environment. And then there's also an element of like character improvement too with your skills and whatnot as you go through it. Not anything too wild or unexpected, but you know, you do get to become a more powerful, you know, sort of Sith individual, right? Like you're not doing the best things in the world for the galaxy.
Dark Lord! Whatever you want, you won't find it here! Turn back!
You can't disguise yourself from me, Jedi.
Grab hold of something, quickly!
It's also more during like the day and stuff too, I believe the 360 version is. I'm gonna have to do another like looks at that one. Rogue Jedi. The lightsabers look really good though. And like I said, it looks decently sharp even on the 4K TV, which is pleasant, because you know a lot of the Switch experiences really don't, so I am appreciative of that. Like, you know, the edges and stuff. Look at as smooth as they're going to look for this resolution, right? Like I've seen a lot worse on this platform. Die, Jedi scum. There's something funny about using the motion controls. Ow. Oh, I guess I'm supposed to directly maybe do that sequence perfectly well or something with the Joy-Cons. I think it's like a scripted sequence. Yeah, I guess I gotta use the left stick. Oh no, I gotta use the... Then I got... Okay, I get what I'm doing now. My bad, this is embarrassing out here. Feel the full power. Eventually I'm just gonna cut him out without the cool sequence. So they did actually add the proper sort of like, I guess you would say, Joy-Con icons, right? Yeah, this is completely, like, it's the same in context, but it's like completely different.
Far more powerful nearby. Where is your master?
The dark side has clouded your mind. You killed my master years ago.
Then now you will share his fate.
Oh! It's little Starkiller.
Ah, a son.
Run!
Oh, what? The origin of a Starkiller. Those poor clothes.
Come with me. More will be here soon.
That's a really intense freeze frame of the eye right there, I gotta say. Oh, because it changes over to his new version. He's looking really sharp there. What is thy bidding, my master?
You were weak when I found you. Now your hatred has become your strength. At last, the dark side is your ally. Rise, my apprentice.
What is your will, my master?
Your training is nearly complete. It is time to face your first true test.
Your spies have located a Jedi?
Yes, Master Ram Kota. He is attacking a critical Imperial shipyard. Destroy him and bring me his lightsaber.
I will leave at once, Master.
The Emperor cannot discover you. Leave no witnesses. Kill everyone aboard, Imperials and Kota's men alike.
As you wish, my master.
Huh. Let's get rolling here. Oh, that's where we meet the pilot.
Proxy.
Ah, yes. Your new pilot has finally arrived, Master. Accessing Imperial records.
Captain Juno Eclipse, born on Coralag, where she became the youngest.
She looks so
student
odd
ever
in this
accepted to the Imperial
version.
Academy. Decorated combat pilot with over 100 combat missions, and commanding officer during the bombing of Kalos. Hand-picked by Lord Vader to lead his Black 5 squadron, but later reassigned to a top-secret project. Is there a psychological profile in there too?
Actually, yes. But it's restricted. Oh, Master, I can tell you she's going to be impossible to reprogram.
Always gotta have a robot
You
companion.
know why you're here?
Yes, my orders are clear. I'm to keep your ship running and fly you wherever your missions require.
Did Vader tell you that he killed our last pilot?
No. But I can only assume he gave Lord Vader good cause to do so. I will not.
Well, let's hope so. I'm sick of training new pilots. What have you done to my ship?
I've taken the liberty of upgrading the Rogue Shadow sensor array. Now you'll be able to spy on any suspect ship across an entire system. You are one of Darth Vader's spies.
You don't need to know anything about my missions except where I'm going. Now I need to jump to Nar Shaddaa. Can you handle that?
Of course.
Got that HD rumble going on. I just want to put out that this is a very, very cool experience. If you haven't played this game, you know, it's certainly a unique offering within the Star Wars lore and universe. It's non-canon at this point, obviously, but it still is a very interesting kind of game. And I hope that opening sequence kind of showcased that to you.
Proxy, give me the target.
According to Imperial records, Master Ram Kota was a respected general in the Clone Wars.
You're hunting Jedi?
I bring Darth Vader's enemies to justice. And now so do you. Go ahead.
I like how he didn't want her to
Master
know
Kota
what
was a
Nurse said she
military
didn't need to
genius
know
who felt
anything,
the
but
clone
now all of a sudden
soldiers
it's
were not
like...
fit for battle. Instead, he relied on his own militia.
So there were no clones in his squad when Order 66 was issued?
And after Order 66, he vanished. Official Imperial records actually claim he's dead.
So why come out of hiding and attack the Empire now?
He wants to be found.
Then we're walking into a trap. How many pilots have you lost before me?
7.
Excellent. Coordinates for Nar Shaddaa are locked. Prepare for light speed.
Yes, it's definitely the same, like, vibe and style and everything like that. It's just a bit different.
The shipyard has sustained heavy damage.
Get us closer.
Lock down the
Rebels.
and get that hologram projector up and running. Tell all squads to fan out and funnel any opposition towards us. Explosive charges on levels 2, 5, and 12, just like we planned.
Yes, sir. General Kota, he's here.
I've finally drawn you out of hiding.
And it's like they're
Lower the
skipping
containment
some
field on
stuff
Hangar
too,
12
which is
until the men
interesting.
take the position.
Yes, General.
What a fascinating release.
Find us the nearest open hangar.
Nice to finally be playing a Starkiller here.
What are you doing?
No witnesses.